Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video, and today I'm going to be talking about yesterday and today's stock market sell-off. So if you want to hear about this, please like the video and subscribe. Instructions have been on screen, and with all that said, we're going to jump straight into the video. So straight away I'm going to talk to you about what's gone on and why this is potentially happening. Obviously, there are more than one reasons, or potentially more than one reason for this happening, but one pretty obvious one is obviously concern about the future of the world after coronavirus, or even in the future with coronavirus. So it's quite a unprecedented thing that nobody can really predict, and there have been some uncertainties about things like second waves and things like that, second outbreaks and things like that. So there's been a lot of concern in the market. So I'm going to talk to you about what's been hit, and I'm also going to show you why CFD may be more risky for this. Like I said, it is a great strategy to trade CFD, but when it does fail like this. So I'm going to talk to you about that one, and we're going to jump straight through it. So here you can see we're still up actually by an 8.5%, 8.5 thousand on this account. 16.9%, of course, obviously it's a demo account like I've said, but the fact of the matter still counts. We're up about 17% on that. And you can see here every single investment is positive apart from Unilever, which never went positive, but it's only down by 5%, and obviously holding this for a very long time. Hopefully it will shoot higher in the future. So everything is up right now, and we're going to just scroll over to CFD, and everything's actually been cancelled, which is really quite terrible. Tesla, which was a massive one, even yesterday rose up to about, what was it? Let's have a look on the graph actually. It was about 1800, 1900, about 1900, yeah, basically, not far off 1900, I'd say. So obviously almost £2,000 for one share in Tesla, and if you were to have cashed out then, you would have made yourself a tiny little profit. But, however, everything sold off, and that's why my account got cancelled, because, I had all the technology stocks and everything, and they were leading the drop-off. So I'm going to talk to you a few statistics. I'm going to tell you a few of these from today and yesterday. So, at the market open, stocks were up all the way through till about midday. Stocks were up quite nicely, and towards the end of the day, they ended up going quite badly. So it all kind of turned on its head towards the lower end of the day. Microsoft, it says here on this article, fell by 3.9%, 3.0.9%. So S&P 500 had a briefly positive turnaround for a bit, and obviously we saw the Nasdaq 100 fall by, it is a predicted 2%, and the S&P came positive towards the end, and like I said, it all went a bit bad. So you can see things didn't really come too good in the end. Everything ended up coming negative, and this was because of fears of a second virus outbreak. That's one of the potential reasons, and there are a few others, but you can Google that yourself. Another thing that I'm here to talk to you about is it a good time to invest now in CFDs or even in stocks if you're concerned? Because there are two ways to view this, and this is rather a subjective matter because it depends what company you're going for. Obviously, if we're talking things like, let's say, some lower end companies that are probably not going to last through the virus, I can't think of any examples off the top of my head, or things which are guaranteed to go down. You can think of things, so for example, if there is a second virus wave, what will go down? So things like oil will probably go down because, people will be traveling about less, output will be less needed, so the amount of oil needed will be probably lower than the amount produced, which will force the prices down. But for other investments, let's think, is it a good time to buy? Especially technology stocks. So Apple shot to around 400, I think it was yesterday. Tesla shot to around 2,000. Only yesterday, I'm talking about all these just yesterday, S&P was up to the point where it made, not S&P, sorry, Nasdaq was up to the point where it made around 300,000 on my demo. So I would say it was probably up by about maybe 1,100-1,200 points. I'm not too sure. Let's have a look. Actually, we can just check to be simple. Nasdaq was up to 1,100. Okay, only 10.9. 10.9, but still that's quite high, almost 1,100, so I wasn't far off. Obviously, Germany 30, which is the DAX, fell. and that was by how many points? Okay, so we need to change it to a 1-day graph. That was at a high yesterday of, actually that was all over the place, but it was high yesterday. It was high at 1208. So now it's at 1206, almost 1207. So not bad there. But you can see here things are already starting to turn around. So if you've got enough funds in your account, and if you're willing to buy either stocks or CFDs or whatever, you could be asking yourself right now, is this a perfect time to buy this company? Because today I'm buying the company Tesla at the price of 1,500. Yesterday I'd have been buying the price of Tesla at the price of around 2,000. So obviously, if we count this as an asset, we would have basically saved 500 on this stock. Obviously, there's some great other bargains on the market. And is it time to purchase this? Now, this is not something I'm going to even answer for you because it depends what company you invest in. Very subjective. Can you afford to lose that money if things do go a bit more sour? But it is something to think about for yourself. Is now the time to actually buy, or is it the time to sell? Because we can see here on a 1 week, we're still quite high on the Tesla. Obviously, that's just one stock to talk about, quite a few examples as we go on, but let's just cover a few of these. So obviously the US 30, which is the Dow Jones, is up on the 10-minute, and on the week it is up. It's up again. So obviously, even if you had invested back in July, or let's have a look at 2028. So if you'd have invested around, let's look at February because that was when it crashed. So February, August, July. So yeah, you just still made quite a nice profit from February, you can see here. So honestly, it's up to you to decide. Even if you had a bought at the top of the high just before the virus broke out, you would still only be a small amount behind if you hadn't have been stopped out now. But you'd have been very close to making a profit already on the US 30. So another example of a great stock. Some stocks actually hit highs after, such as Tesla, obviously. Great example to talk about today because it's just been doing it's been doing extremely well for a long time. So is this one going to keep going down? Is it going to keep going up? Personally, I'm going to bet on it upwards, but I'm not trying to sway your opinion because it could go either way, honestly. But yeah, I will definitely do some research into that, and I will see you in the next video. See you then, goodbye.